Project Greenlight's a contest for screenwriting and directing.
Amateur people who've never made a movie before get a chance to do just that.
We changed the contest this year. There were separate categories of writing and directing.
The Battleshaker Heights is a great coming-of-age story.
It's about this kid, Kelly, who's pissed off at the hand he's been dealt by life.
I had no idea how to get from where I was to being a Hollywood director.
I mean, I think it'd be pretty intense for them to sort of go from whatever they've been doing to literally coming to work every day and trying to make this movie.
People can see how hard it is to do this. We want to show things as they really are.
This is the last week of the shoot, and this week we're in the Boland house.
The Boland house is the location for all the scenes between Kelly and Bart's family.
Everyone is really pulling together to make this work, and they're working long hours, and you can see the strain that it's having on them.
I'm just tired. We've been working hard. I've had like 8 hours of sleep in the past 4 days or something outrageous.
This is the home stretch, and people are tired, they're trying to keep motivated, and we really need to push on through to the end. You know, and the hard thing about shooting is that once we're wrapped, you know, that's it. There's no chance to come back and get it again. It's sort of now or never.
Let's roll sound.
Action.
Vermont, remember the Milbeck's place in Lake Champlain?
Yes. So what was that wonderful cheese that we had in those sandwiches in the restaurant?
Gouda.
Oh, yes, Gouda. Are you sure?
Yes, Gouda.
Cut. While we were shooting at Bart's house, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez showed up.
Ben's been keeping in close touch with the film. He's been watching dailies, but he really wanted to come down and see it for himself.
One of the main concerns I had initially on reading Battleshaker Heights was that the waspy, patriarchal family read a little bit too kind of one-dimensional. And I just wanted to come on this day because it is something that I'm a little worried about.
I think he's a big presence, and when he comes on the set, everyone knows it.
Things definitely changed today. There was a flurry of cameras and sort of focus.
Pleasure. How are you? This guy's treating you all right?
They're treating us very well.
I hope so.
Fucking Ben Affleck and J.Lo are in there shooting this shit like it's another day.
So how's this going?
I think it's going really well. Shooting the dinner scene.
Paying any attention to it, or just... No. Jeff and Chris are obviously around to take care of whatever logistical issues may come up. So far, it looks great, and they're doing a good job.
Get Shia LaBeouf. That's brilliant.
It's doing great, right?
Brilliant.
I'm just gonna call myself LaBeouf, too. That's a stage name.
I think you should.
He took my name. Ben LaBeouf. No? How's it going? Are you getting along with the director?
No, I'm kidding. It's great.
Good.
It's been great. I just, tell them what to do and direct.
That's good. You should just be directing from the sidelines.
Basically, that's kind of what I
That's the way it'll work best.
It's the best, yeah.
This is Kelly.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
Where you been?
It's a
I see your
pleasure.
name on the call sheets. You're never around.
Shia has this really interesting quality to him. You haven't done the love scene yet in the thing out there?
No, that's coming out Monday.
Very exciting.
Oh, it's
Wink,
so
hope,
exciting.
hope. Yeah. Should be, you may get lucky. He is in the movie. He's the crux of the movie. He carries it. You have to want to watch him. You have to care about how these circumstances are affecting him. Hey, thanks, by the way, for, I know it was a pain in the ass with the whole thing and then wanting you to promote the other movie. I'm glad that worked out. I appreciate it. I think that was the right thing for you. I'm glad you did it.
Yeah, I'm glad I did it, too.
You're great in this fucking thing.
Thank you, man.
Really, really good. I think it was critical that we get him. I was really thrilled that we did. I think he's doing a great job. Let's just check him.
Action.
Tabby, honey, have you finished the seating arrangements?
Mom, can we please just talk about something else for once?
Well, darling, we have to take the list to the calligrapher.
I think the only role, really, that on the page was still in danger of veering into stereotype was the mother.
We already talked about that, and we thought when we go in for her shots that we'd mention that. You're not listening, you're not aware that he just shut We just gave Dana some notes to try to bring the waspiness bit of her performance down a little bit into a more subtle area, which she did.
I just think that flowers are so sensual.
Fortunately, as I watched the actress play the part, she seemed to bring it to life in a way that was ameliorating a lot of the concerns that I had about it.
So, Mrs. Boland, what are you doing later?
It's just a very fine line between character and caricature. Fortunately, we have really smart, really good actors.
I think we got that angle. We can move on, yeah.
This has got to be exciting for you. Are you kidding? It's
Great, huh?
totally awesome. Yeah, it's like ridiculous. I mean,
I remember when Ben was reading all the scripts, and he was like, there's this script I read today, because I was working at the time, and he was home every day. He was like, the script I read to Basher. She's like, I think it's going to be the one. I said, really?
Jennifer and I talked about kind of, you know, a lot of different things.
This experience is that, like, where on one hand you're like, okay, like, my wildest dream has come true. Now it's happening. Like, I get to do what I want to do.
It's always the beginning.
Exactly. And then you're like, oh, but I'm totally the same, and I'm still screwed up.
How old are you?
28.
That's the confusing time. Nobody tells you that. 28, 29, 30. It's like when you start calling your mom, you're like, Mom, what is going on?
She was completely charming. She really was. So it was really nice talking to you.
It was good fucking hearing it. Good luck. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right.
Well, thanks for stopping in. Good stuff.
We'll see.
If I come back, it's a fucking problem.
So far from what I'm seeing, I'm really excited and encouraged, and I think we got a shot at having a really, really exceptional movie this year.
Action.
Gold, color of the sun.
In Tabby's art studio, there was a line that Kelly had, gold is the color of the sun. And it seemed to me that Kelly was just looking for anything to say to impress Tabby. Kyle thought it should be more of an honest sentiment from Kelly.
When he did it that way, I really liked it. That one line was, I thought, an opportunity to show a little more of his softer side.
We also have the writer here who could tell us exactly what she had in mind with that line.
After that day in the Arboretum where we had made changes without checking with Erica first, I think we realized that that was a bad move on our part. So we've definitely been trying hard to make sure that she's involved.
The one line, gold is the color of the sun.
Yeah.
How, when you wrote that, what was your intention there?
Complete BS.
That's what I thought.
Is that what you were thinking as
That's
well?
what I was thinking.
Okay.
Kyle had a different thought about it, so.
Yeah.
He's just pulling out the first thing he could think of.
Wow. It's gold. It's the color of the sun.
It's the waterfront.
The waterfront.
And cut.
Cut.
Very good. Hey, I just want to make sure we get it down.
Okay. But I just wanted to say that the last one was really going in a good direction, I thought.
It's going in a good direction, but it still needs...
Yeah, sure. But I thought it looked good.
Erica was giving notes about the scene, and the problem that we both had with that was that Shia was standing right there.
I guess that this is the lesson is never to come and give my opinion, because the one time I do say that something's okay.
That's all, I mean, pull us aside or wait until we have a moment where we're not right there dealing with them.
I wonder sometimes how much control I actually have over the role that I've created for myself, and whether I achieve the right balance between, like, kind of saying my piece at certain times and not sticking my nose in all over the place. They took me aside and gave me a stern talking to.
Did they?
Yeah. Ever saying anything is usually just a bad idea.
The scenes between Kelly and Bart's family are some of the most comedic scenes in the movie. Hopefully that plays right into Kyle and Efram's strengths, so we're really counting on them to step up.
That is gorgeous.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie is Harrison, Bart's dad, is showing Bart and Kelly his collection of nesting dolls. It kind of just sets up that Bart's dad is really more interested in collecting than he is in knowing or understanding his own children.
And action.
The origin of nesting dolls is shrouded in mystery. Some say the oldest are from China. Still others say Japan. I don't have any of those, but the ones I do have are from Russia, and the Russians perfected the art of nesting dolls.
Ray is someone who we approached on a whim a few years ago, and he's been in a couple of our pieces, always for free. We think the world of him, and he seems to really enjoy working with us and hanging out with us.
I think that Kyle and Efram are having a lot of fun shooting this film. They're pretty well schooled in guerrilla filmmaking, so just about anything goes with those two guys.
Okay, here we go. Let's stand by.
And action.
All the way to the little bitty one, the baby, Ruby. Little Ruby baby. My baby Ruby is... Whoa, good God.
I think just in general that Efram and I love comedy. Probably there's more drama in Shaker Heights than we would gravitate towards. But I think the moments of comedy are going to be very kind of fresh and funny, hopefully.
Cut! That was the one. Moving on.
Moving on.
We were about to move on from the scene, but we decided to get one extra shot of Ray getting under the piano.
Well, can we just do this? Can we just get this out of here and shoot him going under the table?
We hadn't gotten, a good, strong version of his line for the audio, so I mentioned it to Sterling, the boom operator. I know this is a difficult one, but if we can get a good Ruby. We're not gonna have to worry about it, but we haven't yet. We've gotten everything. Oh, great, alrighty. Things with Sterling kind of came to a head very suddenly, and I felt like I got a response back that was kind of snippy and had a really bad attitude, and I was like, whoa, what is that?
You just have to understand, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've done over 40 features. I will nail my dialogue every single time. I do not need to be told where to put my mic ever. And it's like I've been told so many times.
But you did, please let me finish.
Yeah.
We were ready to move on after
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah, we were ready too. We were already came on out.
Right, but Tom wanted to add a shot.
Huh?
So.
Oh, it's cool, we nailed it.
Please let me finish. We hadn't gotten the line at that point, to my satisfaction.
Yeah.
So since we had the opportunity now to get in closer, I just wanted to make that comment to you. Because we were moving on, we hadn't gotten the line. You hadn't come up to me and said, we need to get a wild line.
What you're saying.
I'm not finished yet. You hadn't come up to me and said, we need to get a wild line of Ray saying that line.
Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned it to you.
Okay.
Because I did not have you already talking to me about it.
No, and now if I can have a chance to explain to you just for a brief moment, we hadn't shot him actually seeing him say that line, and it sounded perspective for him being underneath the piano. We make determinations of what we need and what we need to get, and we let you know about them all day, every day so far on the show.
Are you ready for blocking?
Yeah,
I need to go move on to
all
the
I'm
next
taking
place.
issue with is the attitude that you threw at me when I mentioned that to you. I walked away from that situation feeling just angry. I just didn't want to have that kind of energy floating around the film set. It's hard enough and stressful enough as it is without someone throwing attitude around.
I've done over 40 features.
I know.
And he's telling me where to put a microphone. I know where you can put a microphone.
We have decided that we don't want Sterling on our team anymore. It's not like I take any joy out of firing someone if your attitude is clashing with what we're trying to do here and we need you to leave. I'm just like, why the fuck am I having these conversations with someone on set? This is just, why is someone with that kind of attitude on our set?
My take is that we're a technical crew and we seem to know what we're doing. We're just doing our job.
Never did I intend to suggest that you guys don't know your jobs.
Mm-hmm.
What I take issue with are the sarcastic or, assy comments that I'm getting from him on set.
I mean, I think Sterling's doing a great job. I think technically the sound is really good. I think, he's good at what he does. Talk to Sterling and say, look, this is what it is, and try to patch it up.
What he's upset about is when you answer him in that sarcastic tone. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta stop that.
You gotta dress it up a little bit, unfortunately. I'd say we got 8 days left.
Have a little bit of diplomacy. Efram, we don't want to lose somebody that's doing a good job if all it means is being a little nicer.
I wanted you to know that, I never intended to question either of your abilities to do your job.
I do realize you guys haven't done a lot of films, and don't really know completely what the other departments are doing or capable of doing. We will not let you down. It's my goal to get you great sound.
Yeah, and I never once have had the worry that you guys are going to let us down, ever. Okay. Now that I've calmed down a little bit, I am glad that we managed to work it out because I think it'll be better for everyone. I really do.
The movie really hinges on these scenes between Tabby and Kelly. Their relationship has been very difficult from the script stage. The limo scene was really hard to figure out. And now we're here doing the big love scene.
It's the scene where Tabby's talking about how Minor broke up with her, and it's the first time Kelly's ever felt emotional for someone else because he's a selfish-ass kid. I'm doing some of that, you know what I mean? I'm gonna watch. I got a little notepad. I'm gonna take notes. Watch. The last on-screen kiss I have, I was 13, she was 13. Amy Smart's in her 20s, and I'm 16.
I feel a little embarrassed because I have to kiss a 16-year-old. He's adorable and cute, and I'm sure he has to get a signature from his mom, some waiver, So It's not illegal.
I think the key to this scene, too, where Kelly's coming from, is that it genuinely hurts him to see her in pain.
Oh, I know.
He wants this, but it's a very anxiety-laden moment.
Kyle and Efram always do this. They'll tell you exactly what you need to know, and then they'll tell you everything surrounding what you need to know, which is good because it gives me an opportunity to extend myself in certain areas and kind of save myself for certain things.
We decided to hold off on the kiss for as long as possible and really save that for the end of the day.
We're not doing a full-out Mackie roll.
Hell yeah, we are.
Are we? Amy is fly as hell. I'll really let her know what's going on after this movie wraps. But I heard she's got like some hockey boyfriend or something. I ain't trying to mess with that. I'm Jewish, you know what I mean? I'm not a fighter, but I'll get in them panties. You know what I mean?
My fear was that when you have somebody as, attractive and together and 26 and a grad student at Yale, played by Amy Smart, and then you got a 16-year-old kid trying to somehow end up having sex with her, that's got to be believable.
Shia can sell it.
Yeah,
she totally can.
I know.
I mean, I think like the right balance of confidence and vulnerability, and you can totally see it happening. When those kind of scenes are good, and I think a lot of girls, that's why you go to the movies, because you feel like, that's the way that you'd like it to be. Now, whether you'd like it to be a 16-year-old boy is kind of like another question.
Did you get some gum?
I had some.
Have another piece, because you had fucking salsa and beans. Really clean that mouth out with some nice gum.
Okay, here we go. Let's stand by, please, and settle.
Marker. Action.
I'm not as complicated as you think.
Well, I didn't say you were complicated. Maybe you just wasn't the right one,
Yeah, but it wasn't more than that.
Come on. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry.
You like me, don't you?
Of course.
No, I mean, you like me.
I think you're amazing.
I'll do something.
Cut. And from the top, let's go again.
Do something.
Cut. Let's keep it rolling.
I think the directors sort of wanted to hold off on the kiss just until the last minute so it would be shiny and beautiful and magical on screen.
Efram and Kyle are just uncomfortable.
Your batteries.
They're not going to let it get that far.
Do something.
Cut.
Going again.
This movie sucks.
I just want to make sure that when we do get to the kiss, please do not applaud.
And action.
I'll do something.
For the ladies in the peanut gallery, particularly Shayna, Shia's mom, and Erica, who'd obviously written the script, it was very moving and eventful for them because it came off well. It was what Erica envisioned, and I think for Shayna, she was very proud of her son, and it was a very sweet, lovely moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap.
I definitely was not sure about the on-screen chemistry between Amy and Shia, so it was really gratifying to see that it was there.
Even though he's 16 years old, he's so beyond his years, and I was really impressed with the amount of vulnerability and accessibility he has as an actor.
Every take, they did a really, really nice job. And Chris Moore came in, he's like, I just think you should know outside, because we were in a garage. He's like, outside, everyone that's standing around the monitor, pretty happy. And we got a few people who are crying.
Yeah, look at her, dumbstruck. See, that's what I do to the ladies. They come out looking like that after me. She knows. You know how I do it, Amy. Yeah.
We are in day 22 of 22, and by a miraculous act of God, we are where we're supposed to be, at the supermarket location in Sierra Madre.
We're going to be shooting all night long. We start tonight at 5 o'clock, and we're going to be ending tomorrow at 6 in the morning.
We won an internet contest. Doesn't anyone realize that? We're not doing a good job. We won a fucking internet contest.
The good news is one day to go. Bad news is one day to go.
The challenges are that, we have a day and a half's worth of work. It's going to be a race to the finish line.
So what dialogue did they change? Where's Erica? Maybe she knows. Hey, Shia.
Yeah, boss.
Did Erica or Colin Efram talk to you about how to change the dialogue?
What answer do you want to hear, brother? I'll give it to you.
I'd like the truth, dude.
Well, the truth is, yes, they didn't talk to me at all.
Apparently you've changed it so that she's not getting on it anymore.
Yeah.
So a lot of this dialogue doesn't make a lot of sense?
Yeah.
Shia's unaware of that?
I know, we were on our way to the makeup trailer to go talk to them, and Erica had a potential line change she was throwing by us, so.
It's not going to change in a massive way?
No.
Even though there's 6 lines that don't make sense?
Yes.
How does that work out?
I was hoping that by now they would learn how to communicate with people, but I guess not. All right, so we're waiting on you guys.
Okay. Yes. Okay, great. Jesus, you're freaking us out.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
I don't know.
Everyone's standing around.
I know, this is the way it's been. This is our process. Everyone stands around, eventually we shoot, and then we scream about how late it is. We cut a bunch of shots, and we call it a day.
That would be what it is.
Action! The scenes in the grocery store were mainly between Kelly and Sarah, and the only time we could be in there was from after they closed to when they open in the morning.
Germans have the high ground. They're shelling your position heavily. You're holed up in a stone barn, running low on ammo. The cries of wounded men fill the air like cries of hungry babies.
There's a long segment of dialogue that Shia had to recite while throwing cans at Shiri.
The Germans have the high ground. They're shelling your position heavily. You're holed up in a stone barn. The cries of hungry men fill the air like cries of wounded babies. Wounded babies. Fuck me. Ha!
Get it all the way through.
Tough, bro.
I know it's tough. That's why I want to keep you focused.
My mind focused.
When you have dialogue like that, which is a lot, and the wording is very specific, and then you've got a really specific action, it has the potential of feeling very overwhelming.
The Germans have high ground. They're shelling your position heavily. You're stashed in a bunker in the forest.
You're holed up in a stone barn.
Okay. When I'm tired like this, it definitely does affect a lot of things.
Roll sound.
Action.
Your commanding officer gets shot in the head, dies. At 1 p.m., you lose radio contact with the... If you withdraw, the German forces will... Fuck. If you withdraw, the German forces... If you withdraw... Fuck. One more time.
Don't be stressed. I mean, you've done far hard things than this.
You're William James Rowley of the 101st Airborne.
It was late. He was really tired. It had been a long shoot.
I feel you're never closer to life. What the hivens?
More alive.
William James Rowley of the 101st Airborne, pinned fucking horses. You're William James Rowley of the 101st Airborne, pinned down in Noville. Fucking horses all over me, and they're running.
Let's just take some time. The stress, I think, was just getting to him. I felt that we should give Shia a little bit of time to sit with the lines and relax because he was getting so worked up.
Go right to the end of the scene. Just get to the end of the scene. And live with the fact that you're gonna cut over to her getting shelled.
Chris Moore's concern was that we were spending too much time on the scene. I totally disagreed because we were set up to do the scene, and why not wait until we get the thing?
My suggestion was to break up the dialogue, have them just do a couple pieces of it. I mean, it's an easy scene to cut away because you have Shiri reacting to the can, so he doesn't have to deliver it all together.
Tonight's not the night to learn about Shia's process. I don't know if you understand.
Germans have the high positions. They're shelling your position heavily. You're fuck. One more time. If you withdraw, the German forces will flank the entire Allied forces along the Bastogne fires.
One of the reasons we've made it this far is that Shia always nails his lines. But, you know, at this point, Kyle and Efram really just need to face the fact that Shia may not make it this time. It's the last night of shooting, and we're out of second chances.
So you're saying do that now and then do the monologue afterwards?
No, I'm saying the monologue's over. We've tried it enough times. I'm saying get the end of the scene before lunch, and let's move on.
I guess I don't fully understand that, but yeah, we should give him one more try.
Okay.
If you withdraw the German allies, this is gonna fucking kill me, dude. I can't right now.
Cut. All right, I think
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's lunch.
When we broke for lunch, which Shayna, Shia's mom, explained to me that she was worried about him because Shia wasn't eating and that he was obsessing on trying to get the words straight for that little speech.
He wants to nail it.
I'll go bring him food and I'll talk to him.
They just made up a plate of food. I found him just kind of wandering the street.
I want you to eat something.
No, I'm good.
No.
I'm good. Hey.
No.
You're William James Riley of the 101st Airborne.
Listen to me.
Down in Nova. What? I have to get this, asshole.
No, you don't. You're getting hung up on the memorization?
No, trust me. I'm gonna take it slow, because I was taking it too fast. I was rushing through it to get it, and that's not working. So I have to do this, not for you, not for the shot, not for anybody, it's for me.
Okay.
It'll make me feel better if I get it, and it'll make my day better. It'll make my last day like a fucking prom, you know?
Action.
You're William James Riley of the 101st Airborne. You're pinned down in Noville. The Germans have the high ground. They're shelling your position heavily. You're holed up in a stone barn, running low on ammo. The cries of wounded men fill the air like cries of hungry babies.
Kelly!
Next, your commanding officer gets shot in the face and dies. At 1 p.m., you lose radio contact with headquarters. If you withdraw, the German forces will flank all the Allied forces along the Bastogne to break the front. What do you do? What do you do?
Kelly, stop it!
The Battle of the Bulge. Southern Shoulder, December 44.
Cut.
Moving on.
When he came back, he nailed it, and we moved on. And, you know, I was glad that we had taken the time to get the scene right.
It was a really long night at the market. You know, it's our last day of shooting. We had a ton of stuff that we had to get.
Action.
I think working here is very depressing.
Only quit.
Unfortunately, we had a few more insert shots we had to get done, so we were really panicked and sort of rushing before we got kicked out of the location.
Thank God they were inserts, because if it had been any dialogue, I'd have been speaking Bulgarian.
We're rolling.
Action. Cut.
That's a cut.
Brilliant.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap on Mr. Shia LaBeouf.
Rapping Shia was huge and it was emotional too. I definitely felt like we had been through quite a journey together, and that Shia had really brought Kelly to life. He's just got such a great career ahead of him.
The overriding feeling I have is that I basically feel so lucky that I've been given the opportunity to do this.
I'm glad that we finished the shoot and we got everything, and I feel good about that, but I'm just sad to see it all kind of come to an end.
Although this production was much briefer in time than most, I think we got a lot done, and I'm really proud of what everyone accomplished.
I think we made a pretty good movie. I really did.
I think it went really, really well. You know, unfortunately, in movie making, just because it went well doesn't mean the movie's any good.